Let's go into the reading here. At the base of your spine, you receive the High Priestess. She's about divine knowledge, wisdom, understanding. But it's more also about her teaching you to listen to your inner self because she brings illuminative messages. She links the unconscious to the conscious, and I think we're going to be seeing some connections to this in the whole reading. We'll see how it pans out. But her messages are very subtle, and they come through coincidences, dreams, and premonitions, and you have to stay vigilant enough to see what she's saying to you. But once you get an epiphany through her messages, things will come into focus more clearly. With her presence in this reading, it indicates that something's out of balance spiritually, and you didn't realize until up to this point that the answers come from within you. Let's see what the clarification card is. The Knight of Cups. The romantic dreamer. He dispenses with logic and follows his heart, which by no surprise warns of difficulties. But he also brings emotions, intuition, and dreams. And so you received intuition and dreams twice at the base of your spine. But the funny thing is that he's emotion, earthly, and she's spiritual, divine. And there's a polarity going on somewhere here because the High Priestess has the two columns of Solomon's porch on both sides of her, and one's for divine and one's for earthly. So there's two messages coming through here that's for the earth and spirit. I also have the feeling that the Knight of Cups is somebody you had known in your past that loved, supported you, taught you. This person may even be deceased, I don't know, but it could be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But what's going on here is that this person might also be coming in again as a guardian and bringing you these messages and dreams. Up here at the sacrum or pelvic, which I call awakening and arousing, you receive temperance. It's about moderation, patience. She also is one of the major arcana cards that can bridge the unconscious to the conscious self. Just kind of interesting that she was so close to the High Priestess. There's something going on because I'm feeling like wasn't a harmonic flow of something going on in your life. See what the clarification card says. Well, you got the Ten of Swords. The good thing about the Ten of Swords is that the worst thing is over. The bad thing is that you were betrayed or lied to, but I'm not really feeling that here. I'm feeling like it's more like it's been an event or a chain of events that have been very hurtful to you. And it's kind of stopped your progress spiritually and sexually. Something didn't work out right, and maybe you didn't show emotions and you were in denial, so you went through a lot of grieving. You were, angry and depressed. You weren't going into the acceptance mode, or else you went the other way around and you said you sobbed like a drama queen or king and couldn't stop. But something is definitely out of balance. Whatever it is, when you think about it, it's very hurtful and you get these stabbing pains. Let's see over here in your solar plexus, what I consider feeling and sensing. The Ten of Cups. Whatever happened, you still have some facsimile of happiness. This is a completion card too. You're up there with the shared happiness. You're feeling pretty good about stability and comfort. Right now, it doesn't really matter how much money you have, because money can't buy happiness. And it's also telling you that the trials and you got this gut feeling that the trials and tribulations in your life are coming to an end. Rainbows are doorways to divine creation and the supernatural, and can bring good fortune. But it also heralds that dreams can come true. Here in the clarification is the Queen of Pentacles, the very mature woman, hardworking and caring woman that is emotionally mature. And I think what she's saying to you is that if you can get a good, mature grip on reality, you will have this happiness. She wants you to have control over your future and realize that wealth does not bring happiness. But the true wealth to her is loyalty to her friends and family. But you really have to bring balance to that, because if you're too generous to your friends and family, sometimes you become an enabler. And that's a very unhappy situation. Now here at the heart of the matter, or the situation, you receive the Chariot. This is a movement card. You're going forward. You're facing opposing forces and trying to overcome them. But this also has to do with the power of your mind and what's going on. You have to review what's going to bring motivation that leads you to success. It can also be about transportation, and maybe even travel, but here you're moving forward. You've made some decisions to move forward. Let's see what the clarification card is. The Queen of Wands. Finally, you get a wand for Leo on fire. This personifies you, male or female, it really doesn't matter. She controls this fire energy, and this is what the Chariot wants you to do. He has a military facade because he is about discipline and control, and more importantly, self-control. And I think that's what she wants you to do, is acquire more self-control. The Queen also wants you to look at where you came from and where you're at now and where you're going, and then think very deeply about the consequences of your future actions. She also wants you to find the key to motivations. What will motivate you to move forward? Because you got to get off the couch to move forward. Now here at the throat, what I'm called communicating and teaching, you receive the Ace of Wands. There's new ideas, new ventures. I believe that something you learned long ago or have acquired through learning has now bounced some ideas into your mind that, yeah, maybe I could do this endeavor and it'll work out. You had a blast of inspiration supported by this good training or whatever you had learned. This is a new beginning. Oh, and yes, here, the clarification card is the Wheel of Fortune. You're now on the upswing of fortune. Good luck is on your side. The spin of providence is bringing good fortune to you, and sudden good fortune. Because you have the wands here, and wands are fire and spontaneity and suddenness. Up here, throat. No, excuse me. This is the third eye. It's your perspective and seeing and envisioning. You decided to go into yourself. I don't think you isolated yourself, but you decided to dispense with fruitless emotions and desires and go on a journey and get out of the chaotic atmosphere that you'd been in the outer world to think about where you're going in life. What is the purpose of life? In a lot of ways, most of my readings are about finding truth, and here he's looking for the inner wisdom of truth. There's always truth somewhere involved in this, and truth actually means faith. But right now you're reviewing the purpose of your life. The funny thing, though, is that after this review, you'll realize that you had all the answers all the time. But now that you're done with your self-discovery, let's see what the clarification card is. You received the Page of Cups. He brings messages. Actually, he can bring more than that. He's very gossipy. And it's an immature page. He's not feeling, he's more like a child. And I think what's going on here is that the Page of Cups is warning you to control your inner child and act more like an adult, because I think you can digress at times and start saying jaw-dropping things that are inappropriate at times, and it's more because of some spontaneous anger or something that didn't feel right to you. Let's see what's up here in the crown, what I consider knowing and understanding. You receive the World. You're at the end of a cycle and ready to begin a new one, but you've learned and earned. And now you're going to go out into the world and apply this new knowledge that you have. It also relates the physical to the spiritual, which I think we've had a lot of lessons here with that, with the physical and spiritual and the connection of the unconscious to the conscious. So this is a very appropriate card. You've got new seeds to sow. You've got new challenges to tackle. And it's a balance now. Finally, you feel like you found a balance. See what the clarification card is. You got this Eight of Swords. Somewhere you're feeling restrained and restricted, and maybe it's that you don't want to go into this new cycle. People are so habitual once they get into habits and routines. They think they like to want to go where no man has gone before, but that really isn't true. A lot of times they want to stay in their comfort zone of what they know, and maybe this is what's going on here, is that you don't want to go back out in the world. No, there's claw marks on the door, you know. Let's see what you got for your past card. And you received the Three of Wands. It's a good card. It's about you making plans and then doing action for them. You're going towards your goals. There is an end to a means, and you've been successful in your past. Even though now there's some things blocking you from going on with this success and blocking some of your spiritual and personal growth. Your future card is the Materialism card. And in the Rider-Waite, it's the Devil. Another major arcana card. Let's take a real good look at this. We've got the High Priestess, Temperance, Chariot, the Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune, the World, and now the Materialism card. The massive amount of major arcana cards. The odds were less and less as I was pulling cards. But here you got the Devil. Something's going on here. Something that isn't to your liking. Maybe you have some denial going on. I mean, the selfishness and the greed and the avarice that happens with this card may be coming from you, but I'm kind of picking up that it's coming from the people around you that have a lot of coveting and cravings that just are not to your liking, and it's very extreme. The refusal to let go. And here up here we saw that there was a refusal to let go. But then again, maybe you have some misplaced loyalties somewhere. Maybe you're helping people that don't deserve being helped. You have to control your torments if you're being tormented by something, or you have to control your tormentors. Let's see now, the card at the bottom of the deck, that's the overall energy of the reading. or it can be the outcome, and you get the Page of Wands. He's action, and he can even be intuition too, but he's searching for truth, but he's playing with fire all the time him being so young, and he's a fire energy with wands. And he can bring new beginnings, but it's really up to you. The funny thing in this whole reading is that you have so many court cards. You have the Knight of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Page of Cups, and now the Page of Wands. So it appears to me there's a lot of people that are actors in your life, and they're all doing different things, bringing in different messages to you, and you have to start balancing this out and taking control of your life, because that's what the Chariot is saying, the heart of the matter. And the Queen of Wands too is, what are the consequences if I make these decisions, and what is the key to my motivation? I pulled another clarification card because a lot of pages bring messages. And so I got the Knight of Cups. This is another court card. And here it brings the whole reading to a full revolution in full circle. The Knight of Cups here, and the Knight of Cups here is a second clarification card for the overall feeling or energy of the reading. Okay, and then we have a Doreen Virtue card. Caressa, you are at the end of a cycle in your life. Call upon your angels to comfort you and to guide you to your next step. Happiness awaits you now. Boy, this card really does sum everything up. You know, you're at the end of a cycle with the world. You're at the end of a cycle with the two tens, the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Cups. You know, you're looking at comfort. It says your angels to comfort you. And here you have some kind of guides. And even temperance can bring in guides in your life. And happiness does await you. You just have to find some answers to a few things and some control over your life. It's the Knight of Wands. He's about risk, danger, challenges. Although his bravery isn't in question, his sanity and impulsive nature certainly is. It's because his actions are without thought unless his horse is slowed down to a gallop. Rules are meant to be broken, and he breaks them often. The word humility is not in his vocabulary, and he can be arrogant and surly. Conflicts navigate to him, and he takes no prisoners. From my experience, he's the knight who will knock you unconscious with his wand. He could muddle in confusion with only his horse knowing the destination. Quick and unexpected changes flow in his arrival and in his wake, with energetic transformations occurring. But everything about this knight has rough edges. There's something rough around all the edges. He can portend changes in residence and many times family discord. In his presence, you really have to take control of yourself and not act immaturely. The clarification card is the Four of Swords. In the medieval days, a knight had to buy his tomb before he went out for a military campaign, just in case he didn't return alive. Now he's laying on his tomb, reflecting and contemplating what was the purpose, or what is the purpose of his life, and where should he go next. What can be or is yours, the central card. You received the Seven of Wands. You've received some type of success, but now you're defending yourself or your beliefs. People are resisting. And the clarification card is the Four of Cups. You're not feeling very good about things, and you're dissatisfied. You've got a sour taste in your mouth, and life feels rather dour. It's offering you a cup, but you're saying, no, I don't want any more of that. And you're reflecting about life, and this is connected to the Four of Swords. You're contemplating a lot of things. You think a lot of things are kind of a bummer right now. You're not feeling very good about them. Now the top right card for self and self-awareness, he's received the King of Swords. He takes control of his life. He's exchanged the chain mail for a royal robe in a courtroom. He's exchanged the horse and field for the courtroom. He makes many decisions, mature decisions. But what he really does is take control. And the clarification card reinforces that too, is that you receive the Chariot. The Chariot's about discipline, strength, willpower. But mostly it's about self-control. So not only are you taking control with the King of Swords, now you're taking control of yourself. You're overcoming oppositions. This can also be associated with travel and modes of transportation. But it's also telling you that you're moving forward in life. Hopefully you're moving past the Four of Swords and the Four of Cups, contemplation and reflection. And now I've made some decisions. The future card is Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups wants you to dig deeper and manifest more deeper emotions with not only maybe a lover, but with family and friends. It's time to take advantage of your emotions and be able to feel them deep-seatedly. It's giving you a new lease on your emotions and loving relationships. It's like the Holy Grail that's waiting to be filled with divine blessings. So now it's a seed of emotional awareness that's been sowed. It's a promise of budding affairs and spiritual awakening. But one thing I'm feeling now is that after all these problems, there's been some immature feelings about the Knight of Wands, and strangely enough, the Knight of Wands is fire, and it can personify you, unfortunately. For the Knight of Wands is Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. So you want to make sure you put your feelings and your emotions in check, and that you're not acting immaturely. And I think you're going to manifest some good relationships in the near future.